Okay, we're gonna cap this project off with the two parts that make up the roof here. Okay, so go straight to create. You're gonna use two NURBs for this one here. This one here is gonna be a NURB Taurus. Options, edit, reset settings. And the Taurus is going to have a radius of 8.5. So right here, 8.5 for the radius. The minor radius, leave it as it is, 0.5. The number of sections will be 24. And I believe that's it right there. So we hit create. This object up. And then view it from the side view or the front view, whichever one you prefer. I'm going to switch to wireframe here just so I can see and nest it right there. Yep, good enough for government work. Alright. Now, as I was saying before, you can switch to component mode. Remember, components are the little pieces that allow us to work with like the faces, the vertices, and edges. Polygons have vertices, edges, and faces. NURBs have these other items here: surface points, control vertices, and isoperms. Anyways, they're going to want you to add a little bit of height to just this section right here at the top. So I'm going to switch to the side view here. Right click over it, go to control vertex. Let's see. Oh, I know. You may notice that my vertices aren't currently visible. That's because of the mode I'm working in. See, for some reason when you're in group mode or select by hierarchy mode, you won't be able to see your components for whatever reason. In which case I'll have to switch the mode I'm in. There we go. Might be a little hard to see on the screen, but these little dots here are the vertices for the NURBs. Remember, NURBs are controlled by curves. Their shapes are determined by curves. If you ever play with Illustrator, you'll know that the anchor points determine the path of the curve that is generated. Let's select the polygon shape, switch to vertex. You'll see that the object components a little more visible and straightforward. But that's just the nature of these two separate shapes. So anyways, what they want us to do is raise the roof, or actually raise this section of the roof. So you switch to vertex mode, click drag to select only the top portion and raise it just a bit. Now while it's still selected, I can switch from one mode to the other, so that way you can see the amazing transformations happen before your eyes. There we go. Switch to this mode here, and that's all they want you to do for this section right here. Well, actually, you got to do one more thing. After that piece is taken care of, we're gonna have you create another half cylinder to make up the rest of the dome. So I'm gonna switch to create, NURBS primitive, and sphere. Reset my settings, and start sweep angle is 0. End sweep angle again is 180. The radius is 8.75. Number of sections 8, and number of spans 4. Everything is good. Click create. Again, they're gonna give you the sideways treatment here, so you're gonna have to go in there and manually rotate it. But while this item is selected, I forgot to have you name it too. So this one's called Temple Roof. and the other object is called that word right there. So anyways, I select the dome top portion, and just like the little base here on the column, if I want it to be completely flushed or leveled, I go in here to my X rotation and I'll type negative 90 degrees so that it's flushed. And either I eyeballing it from this view or from the side view, whatever you prefer. There we go. And that's the top portion there. They do want you to squash it down a wee bit using the scale tool. Squash the roof down just a little bit like that. And that's it. They do talk a little bit about the attributes of objects. Let's see. This right here, when we have a selected object, we're given some of the immediate options regarding translate, rotate, and scale. But if we look over here, show attribute editor, and we click on this, there are many segments or many different parts to an object when it's created. And these little items right now, you can see these little items right here, little tabs, they can all be manipulated and modified. You see these little arrows will allow you to coast back and forth from one section to the other. In our case here, what we're going to do is, let's see, the colors or the materials as they call them when they're applied to an object can be manipulated here. So I mean, that's the cool thing about Maya, is there's more than one way to do the same thing. So in the next video, we're going to finish off this project by applying some new materials to this piece here, this project. All right.